Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Picking the Dream Team. This week we joined the game by Dylan, going for the Dylan Ori combination once again. Last week we didn't have the best result, we only managed to get 46 points, but we were very close. We had Aguero hitting the post twice, we had Alonso, who unfortunately his goal got given as an own goal. It wasn't the best start, but we're hoping to pick it up this week. Dill, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Good to be back. Bit disappointed with last week's team. It was our first hit out, so I mean, it's a good start. I think we did get unlucky. Aguero obviously could have scored a few times. That Richarlison red card was ridiculous. Alonso not getting a clean sheet, you would think he would do it. Not captaining Salah and him doing well. Mane not having a good game. It just happens. You've just got to pick the right combinations in the right week.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on. Looking at the fixtures for the week. Dill, let's have a look here. Anything that stands out for you?
An interesting one for me is Leicester Liverpool, because that's Liverpool have kind of resorted to this kind of grinding out victories for the last two games. And now they're playing against a team that I think is very difficult to do that against. Leicester can open them up, and if they don't play well, they could easily ship 2-3 goals Liverpool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start I don't know. I wouldn't go like with the Robinson or Van Dijk or I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
neither.
feel it.
I agree
But
with you.
I wouldn't go with the Leicester. I wouldn't go with the Leicester player either, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't go Leicester defender or Liverpool defender. I would continue though with Salah and Mane because I think sometimes in these bigger games, the big players tend to step up a bit. Like sometimes the smaller teams that just park the bus in a way, it makes it quite hard for big players to get a lot of goals sometimes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Mane and Salah must stay
Yeah,
in that team. But it's not even a big game. It's Leicester. It's going to be an open game for those two.
yeah. For me, I quite like the Everton Huddersfield game. I think it's a good opportunity for a clean sheet for the Everton defenders. And Everton being on decent goal scoring form, I think it's not a bad idea to maybe have one or two Everton players. Cardiff Arsenal, quite a nice fixture as well. Arsenal need another win. Not the easiest game, but still you can expect Arsenal to win. Burnley Man United, must-win game for Man United. They're not in good form, but they have to win. So it might be worth punting on one or two of their players.
Would you take a United player in that game and confident you say he's going to get you points? I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a risky one. Maybe worth
It's a
one
tough
player, I
one.
think. Because they have
We'll
to
come
win.
back to it though we'll come back to it when we start to select the team.
Watford Spurs, not an easy game at all.
Also, one to avoid. I think that's a game to avoid with fantasy players.
Yeah, I think that's a game to avoid. And what about Man City Newcastle? Game to avoid or game to go for?
No, you got to have three City players, and then you probably have Aguero. You probably have Mendy even. So I think you have to fit a third City player in there.
Okay.
Because either side's going to get you points.
All right. And then, the last big top team there that I'm looking at is Chelsea-Bournemouth. Quite a hard game, that. But Bournemouth are a bit leaky at the back. So let's move on and look at the teams now. And we can decide then as we go. So here's our team from last week. We're going to be making a few changes. Straight off the back, we can remove a few guys here. So we've removed the players that potentially we want to replace. The guys we've left in are the guys we're confident still coming for the week ahead. All right, let's start building our team then.
So let's look at those players quickly though, because let's look at why we're keeping them.
Okay, sure.
So Aguero we're keeping because Aguero is the most dangerous striker in the Premier League. He's been consistent for years. You have to keep him there for now, and he's on a good run of form. So he's got to stay there. Zaha, Crystal Palace, Southampton, a bit of a tough game, I'd say. But you just keep Zaha. He's a good player to have there.
Yeah.
Then you look at Mane, Salah. Maybe not as much confidence as I had last week for them to start both of them, but I do think they still warrant a position. Against Leicester, I'd say an open game, anything can happen.
Yeah, I
And
agree
if it's
with
going
you.
to happen, it's going to be those two.
And Mendy,
And Mendy,
just a solid defender.
Mendy's, yeah,
Can get
he's getting
assists.
new points and Mendy's a no-brainer at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so let's start building. We can start our midfield this week. We'll start from there. Last week we started with our attackers, and our attackers are pretty much complete. So we'll start. Personally, I would like to suggest Theo Walcott. Everton versus Huddersfield. Theo Walcott goes through those phases of form. I honestly tip him to have a good week. And I think he's quite an obvious Richarlison replacement. I think it's a good tip. Yeah. For now, let's put in Walcott for Richarlison.
Yeah, because that's a good one. And Walcott will be good.
Yeah, I quite like that. And we can add in Hazard. I quite liked Hazard this week. He did score for... He did score... Yeah, he did. He scored a penalty. He scored in the last game against Newcastle.
I'll give him definitely a start.
Okay, so we got 35.6 million left. We can go into our defence a bit. I know you had a thought on tripling out City players.
I think what we got to do is get Laporte in there.
Yeah.
I think City at home, they had a draw. They're going to come home. They're not going to get an easy win. Newcastle are going to dig in like they did against Chelsea. And City are going to find it tough to break down. Newcastle are going to be unlikely to get a goal. And where's City's goals going to come from? It's probably going to come from a block off a shot, and it's a corner, and then you've got those guys like Laporte going forward.
Okay, so here are the guys ahead. Liverpool players a bit too risky, I think. Like we said, playing against Leicester, they could ship goals. It's not the best. Spurs, team to avoid this week. Playing against Watford, it's a tough game away.
What if you went for like a Jeffrey Schlupp?
Yeah, I personally like Schlupp. I'm just a bit worried that we're a bit overpowered on Palace players, but he is a winger, so it's honestly a great option. They're playing against Southampton, who haven't had the best start, and now we've got a winger in our defence who could get clean sheet points as well. I think it's a good option. Okay, so this is what our team looks like. Right now, we're probably going to go with these three defenders.
Okay, so what budget do we have?
We have 17.6. Maybe let's get our goalkeepers in for the meantime. If you were to choose a clean sheet, I think you got to go Pickford.
Okay, let's put him in for now.
All right. So now we've got only 8.6. That's not enough for another midfielder and a striker. That's not good. We can go sacrifice Mane, Salah, Hazard, Aguero.
Okay. Let's figure this out. This is what we're here for.
You've got a lot of nice little options at the moment. You've got Mitrovic, 6.6. He's on form. He's not playing the hardest game.
Let's get Mitrovic in.
We can put in a 7 million player for Mane.
Maybe put Mkhitaryan back then.
Okay, so this is with Mkhitaryan. We have 6.3 in the bank. Okay, so this is how our team's been fixed then. We've basically solved our budget area. We've got 0.3 million in the bank. We're going to make the transfers now for this week. Confirm the transfers. Never mind that minus 24 points. That's not really important. That's not the point of this series. We now can set up our team for this week. We'll go pretty much like this. Just I think Masuaku out. Mitrovic in. Yeah, that's perfect. And basically just maybe swap him with Bennett just in case injury comes. I quite like Masuaku. I think he can come on and he can be good. Okay, so now we need to decide our captain, vice captain. Basically the standouts for me in our team are we can go Hazard, we can go Salah, we can go Aguero as the three obvious ones, And then if we want to go for maybe a differential, we can look at Mkhitaryan. That's what I think is our options.
If you were crazy, you'd go Laporte.
You can never go. Oh yeah, I mean, if he scores and he gets a clean sheet, then you've got yourself a great captain. But can you really count on that? I quite like the look of Hazard as captain. He had a great game last week. They had a team that parked the bus the whole time.
Let's do it.
I think let's go for a little bit. I guess Hazard or Mkhitaryan would both be considered as differentials, and Salah and Aguero would be considered like the obvious pick. But Newcastle's not actually such an easy team to score goals against. You saw Chelsea struggled. There's no reason why they're going to change their strategy for against Man City. Personally, I quite like Salah against Leicester or Hazard against Bournemouth. Those would be my two tip-off from this team.
Let's go Hazard.
Right, so we'll go Hazard then. Make Hazard captain. Make Salah vice captain. And there we go. That is our dream team for game week 5, I believe. We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Phil, thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to go listen to our podcast where we go more in depth for this game week. It's been released already. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel. And cheers.
And keep following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Thanks for watching.